We're back to the world of, I guess, just bizarre and political twilight zone. A previous opponent of ours here on the Republican side, her name was Sarah Hammond. Just complete hypocrisy, flip-flopping, back and forth, all on video, all on tape. Political malpractice is just the way I would describe her campaign. And it's happening again. My opponent, his name is Gary Groves, has taken on the endorsement, which means a lot of money, undisclosed amount at this point, of a group called Texans for Lawsuit Reform, which sounds like a good name, and it sounds like like they've got a function in society that we need. It's just a very, very Democrat, extremely progressive, extremely liberal. They take on candidates that are for abortion and for taking away your gun rights. Sarah Hammond, they gave a lot of money to her, somewhere in the world of $135,000, which was just completely squandered, in my opinion. Now they're giving money to Gary Groves, and he's acknowledged as much over and over and over again. And so he's in the world of flip-flopping.
Next to them. And
I don't understand. TLR supports Democrats. It's a well-known fact. They will support Democrats against Republicans. They'll even support somebody and then turn against them, like they'll support them in a primary and turn against them in the general. So yes, they do support Democrats. That's a fact.
So thank you. Yeah, so who else? It doesn't make any sense, Gary, what you're doing here. So now you're trying to walk it back, which is all you can do. Kind of the way you took on Miss Hammond's endorsement, pretending that she didn't say those things about guns and abortion. And you walk it back, and you're trying to walk this back, and you're giving off percentages that sometimes they give money to Republicans, this group TLR. But that's like saying, Gary, but we all acknowledge that they're an extremely progressive, completely out of what our party stands for. That's like saying, well, I'm only partly a hypocrite, and I'm only partly a liar, and I'm only partly spineless, as you give off these percentages that sometimes they give money to Republican candidates. You're a good example of it. You've also stated that you acknowledge that they do give money to Republicans sometimes, and then they turn around and they give it to the Democrat candidate in the general election. Unwittingly, you are stumbling across the truth, Gary. Try to elevate your mind and try to get into the world of political chess. I understand completely what is going on here. They want a Democrat in this seat. This group, Texans for Lawsuit Reform, this is a group out of the area. This is outside money. Let me just say immediately, I'm funding my own campaign. I don't take this money. I'm funding myself. I have taken on very small donations from friends and family. I'm in the world of 99% that I have funded myself. I'm beholden to nobody, none of these groups.
And I'm beholden to nobody. Nobody. I'm like Sergio in this. He's like me. We did not take outside money, and we are beholden to nobody. We are beholden to nobody.
So, Gary, you kind of stumbled onto something that, yes, they do give money to Republicans sometimes, and then they turn their back on that guy or lady, and then they give it to the Democrat candidate. Why is that? Because they want the Democrat to win. You can measure yourself not by your friends, but by your enemies. So I'll take this as a compliment. They clearly don't want me in this race. Why is that? Because I stand the best chance of winning in November. After Sarah Hammond got all that money, and after you are going to get all this money, whatever that amount is, and if I am blessed enough to get through this runoff and get to the general election, I bet you $5 to our favorite charity, Gary, that they are going to jump over, and their money and their endorsement will go to the Democrat opponent in the general election. Republican, Democrat. So, Gary, your spokesperson has spoken at length of how this is such a Democrat-leaning group. I think you need a better team, Gary. You've surrounded yourself with some miserable advisors. Gary, it's sometimes best to say no. You could say no. You should have said no to this lady, Sarah Hammond, connected with you. It's just not good. You should have said no to this Democrat-leaning group called TLR. They gave $6 million to Jasmine Crockett.
This group, TLR, that has supported Ms. Hammond, has supported Jasmine Crockett of the senatorial race that we know about.
And she would have been the most radical senator in the United States. It's people like you and Sarah Hammond, and just do the analysis. They want to put forward the worst possible candidate, the easiest one to beat in November. This is not a compliment, Gary. You and your followers, let me address them. If you guys are looking for a leader that is not ever going to backpedal and will stay true to his principles and will never acquiesce and bend over the way you twist in the wind and you just beg to twist your words, if you're looking for a leader like that, please consider voting for me. Gary, you've ruined a whole career You've tried to build up your name as such a leader of the Republican Party. You are doing things that are completely against the platform of the party. And I'm thankful that I have a whole bunch of strangers out there in this community of mine that's grown. I'm very thankful for them and their families and their neighbors. These people are stepping forward to volunteer. This area needs a real leader. These career sort of politicians that are here that after all of those years of pretending to be MAGA or party purity of these perfectionists, but yet at the critical time will turn your back on the party and do something so twisted like this. This local party really just needed, metaphorically, someone to come in and flip the table upside down. I'm happy to do that at the State House. I'm beholden to nobody. We're going to fight for the people of McAllen, Mission, Edinburgh, and Farr, not these organizations. It's going to be fighting for the people of the area that have just been, really, we've had a lack of leadership, and now these purported so-called Republican leaders are just flip-flopping back and forth, floundering like a fish out of water. That's kind of what you look like in my mind, Gary. This is just a disaster the way you've handled this. You need leadership in this area. My name is Sergio Sanchez, House District 41 Republican candidate. Please remember to vote at the end of May. SergioForTexas.com.
There is a lot of outside money in the area, and I reject it, and I haven't received a penny of it. Others in this field have, and I'm beholden to nobody.
And I'm beholden to nobody. Nobody. I'm like Sergio in this. He's like me. We did not take outside money, and we are beholden to nobody.
I'm beholden to nobody.
And I'm beholden to nobody. Nobody.